Well, it's obviously some good news to Man United fans, and it's not good news to Man United fans as Qatari have gone ahead to obviously pull out of the United takeover process, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe has gone ahead to win, and his bid is obviously going to be tabled onto the board of Man United, and obviously to it that they obviously get the best out of it. So welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? Finally the takeover process of Man United has gonna hate to come to an end, and Qataris have gonna hate to pull out, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe has gonna hate to win as far as all that is concerned. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name, and this is the United Matters channel. We discuss Manchester United news only, and we thank God for the gift of life. Thank you for obviously keeping this channel, and let's continue going to where we deserve to be. Now let's go to the first person that obviously went ahead to break the story. It was Fabrizio Romano. He told us that Sheikh Jassim Al Thani has presented full cash bid, clearing all debt for 100% of the club. Sheikh Jassim's team declined to comment on this news, citing confidentiality restrictions, but have confirmed they've withdrawn from the process. That is it. Then he added and said, Sheikh Jassim's bid proportion has been rejected by the Glazers family. As a result, Sheikh Jassim Al Thani has informed Glazers that he's withdrawing from the process. That is Sheikh Jassim Al Thani for you. And Fabrizio Romano was the first journalist to put out this news that Sheikh Jassim Al Thani has gone ahead to obviously pull out from this process of the United takeover. A very huge blow to the club of Manchester United, according to we who know what it means if at all a person like him takes over. Then Rob Dawson came in through and he told us that Sheikh Jassim Al Thani and his Qatari consortium have withdrawn from the process to buy Manchester United. Sheikh Jassim Al Thani and his team are not commenting officially, but have informed the Glazers and the Rain group that they have withdrawn from the process. That is it. And that obviously came in from Rob Dawson, a United correspondent for the ESPN. Then later, Mike Keegan, a person so close to this deal, also came out and confirmed us that Sheikh Jassim Al Thani has withdrawn his offer from Man United Football Club. Sheikh Jassim made an improved offer for Man United in the last few days, which sources describe as an increase in the hundreds of millions. When that was rejected, he pulled out. That is it. So we all have to understand that this guy is really one of those that has gonna hate obviously coming through and obviously be one of the people that have gonna hate obviously try to buy the club of Manchester United, bail us out from date. But the Glazers never found him as suitable because they obviously wanted to keep a little bit longer at the club of Manchester United, and they finally gone ahead to get exactly what they want. So it showed you that they were really doing two things, either to get 6 billion or to keep Sir Jim Ratcliffe around and buy a minority stake in the club and then buy them off at the end of the years that they're going to obviously give him at the moment. Now, after that story being broken, then the Times came in through and obviously broke a story about Sir Jim Ratcliffe. They told us that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is set to complete a deal for a 25% stake in Manchester United after the withdrawal of his main rival, that is Sheikh Jassim Al Thani, from the bidding war to buy the club of Manchester United. So looks like what the Glazers wanted is what has gonna hate to obviously form, and they've gonna hate to obviously find themselves in a position of really agreeing a 25% stake into the club of Manchester United. Then TalkSport told us that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is believed to be ready to offer to purchase 25% of the Glazers shares, with a view to eventually become Man United's minority owner. Joel and Avram have always been reluctant to enter into a full sale. We all knew that Joel and Avram are really reluctant to get into the full sale of Manchester United, and they are the ones who obviously never wanted this to obviously come to pass. But The other siblings, the three, were willing to obviously sell off the club of Manchester United, and I think there are some that are obviously pulling out of the club. 25% means that the Glazers are now going to be left with 44%. That is it. 44%, and that means Avram Glazer, Joel Glazer, and some other obviously going to find themselves in a position of really leaving the club. Sorry, staying at the club of Manchester United, and some of the siblings are obviously going to be bought off. Now, one will ask, now, where is the investment going to come in through? Now, the Glazers have gone ahead to obviously hand over what we call the sporting activities to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. That is it. And this has been well stipulated, all well elaborated by the Athletic. They've told us that an agreement in principle has been reached with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, subject to ratification by the board of directors. Jim Ratcliffe's minority stake would potentially give him sporting control of the club. Sources say his deal is based on influence over sporting decisions. Now, looks like the Glazers have gone ahead to obviously let him have full control of the sporting decisions at the club of Manchester United. And that is really huge for this club of Manchester United, because amidst us not wanting him to come in through, because he's not going to do what we call an imminent full takeover, but his plan is to take over fully. And for the Glazers, they might be pulling out of the sporting limelight, and they are just here to obviously get their dividends. And maybe Sir Jim Ratcliffe is obviously going to be ready to obviously take over the club and make what we call the sporting decisions. And these decisions are obviously going to be the facilities, the footballing facilities like the stadium, the training ground, everything at Man United concerning sports, the director of football, and so on and so forth. Then the Glazers will obviously see to it that they obviously back down everything, because their running of the club has been abysmal in the past years, and it has gone ahead to obviously give United the best. Now, I think that can obviously give me a little bit of a smell, because you will obviously want to get in a new person altogether to come in through and obviously lead, you know, that the way United is run and how to restructure the club of Manchester United, because we all have to admit, I wanted Sheikh Jassim Al Thani. I know that some of you also wanted him, but right now the fact is it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming in through to be in the steering wheel of this club, in promise that he's going to be running this club, and in the next years he's obviously going to buy out the Glazers and obviously get them the amount of money that they want. That is it. So I think we are going to wait and see how this is going to pan out, but I don't want us to see ourselves get into another debt, because Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos really have the money. They can build the stadium, but there is a story I read that saw them really fall out with Barcelona, because they wanted to obviously build a new stadium for Barcelona, get a 25% of the Barcelona shares, and those shares were going to be for a lifetime. You get? And they wanted to name the stadium Ineos Stadium. So it looks like they've been having a long lasting interest to obviously take over these clubs. A club like Man United, or Barcelona, or elsewhere. They even wanted to go to Chelsea, but they couldn't win that. So it shows you exactly that now the club of Manchester United is obviously going to be run by Sir Jim Ratcliffe. The sporting activities are going to be dedicated by him, and that is what we are having in at Man United. It's a late night story that I needed to break before I went to bed, that Qataris have pulled out and Sir Jim Ratcliffe wins the race to take over the club of Manchester United, and it's obviously having very many news that is being breeded out of this. And I think tomorrow morning is obviously going to be one of those that you're obviously going to find ourselves in a situation of obviously getting to where we want to be. Now, this awaits the board of Man United to obviously sit and vote on whether this 25% is obviously going to come in through and really get to where they deserve it to be. And obviously, with the Glazers having the Class B shares, no one can obviously object this. Even if the 31% obviously don't vote it and the Glazers vote for it, it will obviously find itself into an ilk of really being considered, and it's obviously going to come in through and take this club to where the Glazers want it to be. But for me, all I want is, if the Glazers are totally out of the sporting activities at Man United, and these activities are going to be rerun by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, then that is obviously going to be so much important for this club of Manchester United. And finally, one of the reasons that I'm going to hate to obviously see us have a very staggering season, have really going to hate to be sorted now. The players can now know that it's not Qataris, it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming in through the club of Manchester United. British, I think the British media is obviously going to be very happy, but we wait to see whether he's obviously going to preach what we expect him to be practicing in the club of Manchester United. So guys, your thoughts on to Qataris pulling out are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Sir Jim Ratcliffe winning the United takeover? Rokan David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly. I don't know whether they're going to be a turn back or to turn heel. I don't know whether a turn back is going to be made, because someone can turn around and obviously make a very huge turnaround and say, all right, the Glazers have come back with £6 billion and I want to take over the club of Manchester United. The rumors are saying he might go obviously and buy Inter Milan. So the Muslims, Barakallahu fikum, it's a Sunday. Christians go to church and say prayer to Lord. But even if you stay at home, God is everywhere. Good night. See you tomorrow.